Assalamu alaikum. How are you? Fine. Alhamdulillah. Today we will study about heat. This is a new topic. Let's start. Before starting heat, I just want to ask a question. Have you ever taken a sip of hot coffee? What happened? Yes. Burn your tongue and you say out yes. Energy in the hot drink flows into your tissues and damage them. And this energy that causes such a burn your tongue, is heat. And today our topic is heat. Okay? Heat is thermal energy. Thermal energy mean the energy which we get from hot things, heater, stove, fire, like this. Heat is a thermal energy that flows between object due to a difference in temperature. Heat is measured in joules. Everything is measured in units, yes. We Everything is measured, and all things have units. Okay. Heat moves from an object with high temperature to an object with lower temperature. What it mean heat always move from hot object to cold object. Hot mean object with high temperature, and cold object with mean mean object with low temperature. That's why we say that heat is a thermal energy that flows between object due to a difference in temperature. Higher temperature to lower object. Higher, yes, higher temperature of object mean what? Coffee. And lower temperature object is what? Your tongue. Okay, understand? It means heat moves from an object with high temperature, coffee, to an object with lower temperature, your tongue. Understand? And how we measure? We measure heat by using some units which is called joule. Understand? Look at this picture. How heat transfer from one object with high temperature to an other object with low temperature. Look here, red mean these particles have high temperature and they move to other object, and they have blue color mean they have less temperature. Understand? Look here how heat flow from one layer to other. Look here. Understand? Understand what is heat? Okay. Temperature. Temperature. What is the meaning of temperature? Temperature mean a measurement of average kinetic energy of particles in an object. Particles, they are constant moving if they have high temperature. It mean temperature is the measurement of average kinetic energy mean the energy which is produced by moving, by motion. All the particles in an object are vibrating with kinetic energy. That's why they transfer their heat to the other object. The object which has high temperature, their movement is faster. Object with higher temperature have particles, they are vibrating, they are moving faster. That's why they transfer their heat to the other object which has low temperature. And what about object which has low temperature? Object with lower temperature, they have particles that don't vibrate as much as the first object which has high temperature. High temperature, their particles moving faster. Object having low temperature, their particles move slower. Understand? That's why we say that heat always flow from hot object to cold object. Understand? Temperature. because our topic is about heat and temperature. When heat moves, what happens? From one object to another, the temperature of each object change. Why? Because when hot object transfer its heat, it become cold. And when cold object take heat from hot body, it become hot and it has high temperature. It mean when heat moves from one object to another, the temperature of each object changes. Higher become lower and lower become higher. Understand? Heat will continue. Remember this point. Heat will continue to flow, to move until both objects, hotter and colder, are at the same temperature. Okay? But how we measure the temperature? How we can say that this body has higher temperature and this body has lower temperature? Yes, we have a special instrument. And who know about instrument which we use for measure temperature? Excellent. Thermometer. Yes, thermometer is an instrument which is used to measure temperature. Temperature is measured with thermometer. Thermometer is made of a glass. Look here at the below, it's just like a bulb, and in the or if you see at the above, it's just like a tube. And what is inside? Inside it is a smaller tube and it is filled with a special liquid, and it is called alcohol. Alcohol is a liquid which is filled in thermometer. Yes, when it expand and contract, we say that temperature is rising and temperature is decreasing. And the lining show the scale, the numbers of temperature. Thermometer, I just want to explain again. Thermometer, what is thermometer? Thermometer is an instrument which is used to measure temperature. Temperature mean how cold and how hot. Hot? What hot and cold? Yes, of an object. Mean just to check the coldness and hotness of an object. It is called temperature. And how can we check temperature? By using thermometer. Thermometer gives the temperature of material. How? In units of degrees. I told you that everything have units to measure, like time, seconds, and like this. Celsius or degrees. Fahrenheit. These are the unit which we use for temperature. Celsius, C is a short name, F is a short name for Fahrenheit. Many thermometers, they just work by measure the way just liquid expand or contract with temperature. Yes, if the liquid expand, the temperature is rising. If the liquid contract, the temperature is decreasing, mean low temperature or high temperature. If liquid expand, high temperature. If liquid contract, low temperature. But remember this point, temperature and heat, they are not the same thing. Temperature and heat, they are not the same thing. Temperature, it's measured the average kinetic energy of particles, the moving, yes, of particles. But heat mean the total amount of thermal energy, or thermal energy of an object which releases. For example, coffee, when coffee release the energy and go to your mouth and you say ouch. Heat is a total amount, mean the flowing of yes, thermal energy from one object to other. Look here. This is, what is this? Yes, this is a diagram of thermometer. Look here, it's thermometer. What we see 10, 20, 30. These are the degrees. These are the number which show the temperature. And CF, the units which we use for measure temperature. C, Celsius, F, Fahrenheit. Understand? Now look at this picture. What you see? Three words. What you see? Yes, you see. You can see conduction. Yes, convection. Yes, radiation. But what they are? They are what they are? They are modes. They are the methods of how heat transfer. How does heat travel? Heat travel, yes, in three ways. Heat transfer, heat travel in three ways: conduction, convection, radiation. The transfer of heat or electric current from one object to another by direct touch. If you touch any hot thing, it is called conduction because you get heat by touching it. Convection means the transfer of heat through gases or liquid. For example, if you want to boil water, if you stand near it, you just take heat from hot gases. Radiation means the heat, yes, which you get in the form of rays from sun without anything, without any material. It is called radiation. Now we will study one by one. How does heat travel? Conduction. Conduction is the passing of heat through a material while the material itself stay in a place. Just you come and just touch a hot cup. If occurs between objects that are touching. I told you example again and again. When you touch any hot thing, it is called heat transfer through direct touching. Okay? Again, conduction and conductor. Conduction, a process how heat transfer, how heat travel. Conduction is the movement of heat because our topic is about heat and heat, how heat transfer. The movement of heat between object touching one another. If you touch any hot thing, conduction, and the hot thing is called conductor. Conductor mean any object that heat can move through easily. Understand? The material, conductor, and method, conduction. Understand? Next, second way. Second way of heat transfer. How heat travel. Convection mean heat flow. How heat flow. Convection is the flow of thermal energy. Thermal energy, again, I just want to repeat the energy which we get from hot things. Convection is the flow of thermal energy through liquid or gases. When you want to boil water, if you get heat through gases, through liquid, it is called convection, caused by hot parts rising and cool parts sinking. As hot and cool parts of the liquid move, they cause rotating current. Convection occurs in liquid and gases but not in solid. Second point. When in second point, what you read? Caused by hot parts rising and cool parts sinking. When you want to boil some hot water, the lower part water, when it become it get heat, it become hot, it move and it change its place, and cold water which is present on the upper part, it takes it takes it take it which it takes hot water place, and that's why we say that caused by hot parts rising, and then hot water it rise, it change into steam, hot air, and the cool water it takes down, it go down and take the position and start sinking, and that's why it is called convection. Convection mean movement of liquid or gases, and just these movement are happen in just gases or liquid, not in solid. As hot and cool parts of liquid move, they cause rotating currents, mean they just start moving, exchange their seats, exchange their places. Hot take cold place and cold place take hot place. Convection occurs in liquid and gases, but not in solid. Because convection means just rising. And who rise? Hot air rises and cold air take its place. That's why it is called convection. Hot air and cold air exchange their places. Look here. It's a kettle. When you want to boil water, what happen? Which comes out, which rises? Yes, hot air rises. Look here, hot air rises. It is called convection, the movement of gases. If you just open the kettle, what hot water also rises. It means it is called convection, and this process of convection just occur in liquid or gases, not in solid. Huh? If you touch hot kettle from outside, conduction. But what is inside? Hot water is rising. Yes, it comes out, and you feel hot air, you feel heat. It means this flow of heat is called convection. Understand? Third one, radiation. Radiation means the transfer of heat through electromagnetic rays. Mean you get heat in the form of rays from sun. Rays include visible light. Light is a ray. X-ray, which we use in many purpose. Yes, and radio waves. These are also very important rays. These rays are very important. But today our topic is about heat and how heat transfer, not about rays, how rays work like this. Matter is not needed to transmit radiation. Conduction, we need solid material. Yes, conduction, we need solid material. Yes, for the transfer of heat. Convection, we need liquid or gases for transfer of heat. But in case of radiation, no material, no matter is needed to transfer of heat. Just we take heat, just we get heat in the form of rays from sun, in the form of rays, and we don't need any matter. Electromagnetic rays can travel through empty space. There is nothing between sun and earth. Otherwise, if something is present, heat from the sun could not warm earth. Understand? I repeat again. Radiation, the third way. How heat travel, how heat transfer. Heat transfer by radiation. Radiation mean in the form of rays without any material. Is the transfer of heat through electromagnetic waves. It is called radiation. Understand? Look here, toaster. Electromagnetic rays. Yes, it work. Yes, toaster work like this. It here heat the toast. Yes, and when you want to stand near it, you can feel hot air. Yes, and it is proved that heat flow from one object to other. That's why when you want to touch this toaster, conduction, and when you stand and feel hot air, convection, but inside radiation, because toast get heat by electromagnetic radiation. Understand? Infrared rays. Hot object radiate, release heat, and the electromagnetic rays they produce infrared rays. These are called infrared rays. Why? Because they are close in color to red visible light. The rays which we get from hot object. You cannot see infrared rays, but scientists, they solve our problem. How? By build some special instrument, cameras. Now we are able, yes, to see these rays. Computers can artificially color the images that these cameras take. Special cameras which take picture during night. You can use infrared cameras. It is called infrared cameras to take pictures of object even in the middle of night. And then we are able to see these red lights. These red infrared. Infrared rays mean red light because it look like red light. Okay? Look here. The rays which reach on earth. Understand? Okay. Thank you.